been looking at the book of Acts, the Acts of the Apostles, and in one of my recent videos I was just talking about Acts 22, and towards the end of that chapter I want to read a few verses and just make a few comments with them as well. And so in verse 30 it says this: "The next day, since the commander wanted to find out exactly why Paul was being accused by the Jews, he released him and ordered the chief priests and all the Sanhedrin to assemble. Then he brought Paul and had him stand before them." So this was the act of a Roman who was a commander, and he wanted to get some clarity about what all the accusations were, what all the fuss was about regarding Paul, and he needed to try and negotiate and communicate with the Jewish authorities. So the chief priests and the Sanhedrin, that's their kind of ruling council, so Paul was standing before them. Now this wasn't an easy situation, because Paul had really begun to seek Roman fairness, really. I mean, it sounds strange to say that, because Rome seems to be quite a brutal kind of culture, and certainly the lives of Christians weren't respected in many cases, but he does feel that he's going to get a fair treatment at that point, and at least he's not going to get lynched, because it really did appear that there was this lynch mob about to destroy his life. And in Acts 23, just the beginning of the chapter, it says, "Paul looked straight at the Sanhedrin and said, 'My brothers, I have fulfilled my duty to God in all good conscience to this day.' At this, the high priest Ananias ordered those standing near Paul to strike him on the mouth. Then Paul said to him, 'God will strike you, you whitewashed wall. You sit there to judge me according to the law, yet you yourself violate the law by commanding that I be struck.' Those who were standing near Paul said, 'You dare to insult God's high priest?' Paul replied, 'Brothers, I did not realize that he was the high priest, for it is written, do not speak evil about the ruler of your people.'" And I find this really fascinating, this little situation. We deal with rulers and we deal with authorities. We don't always feel that how they treat people and how they deal with situations is fair. Nor do they always keep their own rules, and it's a bit of a question mark and quite a dispute in the UK at the moment about that, and whether government ministers kept to rules. That's been an ongoing conversation for a while. I pray today that we would have grace, even when we feel unfairly treated, even when we feel that actually what's happening to us is really based on injustice and we're not being treated in an even-handed manner. I pray that God would give us grace, and he would give us wisdom how to respect authority, even if we don't agree with them, even if we don't feel that they're acting in a fair way. I pray that God would give us grace for those in authority, and give us grace also to know that we are in the hands of the Lord first and foremost in every situation, and not just simply in the hands of individuals.